Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Theresa Evanoff, and I'm a program director at German Entrepreneurship Asia. I'm happy to introduce our company and what we do for German and Singaporean startups. German Entrepreneurship Asia is an innovation services provider specialized in building collaboration structures between governments, corporates, investors, and startups in the innovation ecosystems of Asia and Europe. We focus on facilitating global market expansion for startups to develop them into internationally recognized and successful ventures. We are responsible for executing German Accelerator within Asia, a program funded by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy to empower high potential German startups to discover and access markets in this region. We also offer Accelerator, a tailored service for Singapore startups and small and medium enterprises to explore, prepare, and access Germany. My colleague Christine will share more about Accelerator later on. Our strength is in our established global network of partners and mentors, extensive knowledge of the German and Asian business landscape, and experience scaling businesses. German Entrepreneurship Asia is proud to be a part of Singapore's Global Innovation Alliance, a joint initiative between Enterprise Singapore and the Singapore Economic Development Board. We have a very diverse network of partners who span the Asian and German governments. We partner with industry associations, bilateral chamber of commerce, venture capitalists, education institutions, and corporate partners. Our strong network of partners is a valuable asset to the startups in our program, and we thank them for their support thus far. Mentors are another key pillar of our program. They help our startups build go-to-market strategy and are excellent connectors for our companies to customers and investors around the globe. German Entrepreneurship Asia has over 150 mentors in various industry expertise and subject matter expertise. Most of them are based in Asia, with over 200 mentors under our sister companies in Germany and the US. Usually, when people think about exciting startup ecosystems, they think about Silicon Valley, New York, or Tel Aviv. But the startup ecosystem in Asia has really developed in the past few years, with hundreds of new startups founded every year, making it to the world's growth engine. In fact, KPMG just ranked Singapore as the #1 leading technology innovation hub for 2021 outside of Silicon Valley. So why is Asia so attractive for startups and businesses alike? Well, Asia is home to 3 of the top 7 economies in the world: China, Japan, and India. It serves as headquarters for 43% of the largest companies by revenue. And by 2040, Asia will contribute to 50% of the global GDP. Asians have the power to spend, as we are home to more than 50% of the world's middle-class population. There is a high mobile usage and internet penetration rates, which aids technology adoption in Asia. Asia also has a strong government support and startup programs such as the German Accelerator and infrastructure. Because of these attractive factors in the Asian startup economy, German Entrepreneurship Asia took on the execution of German Accelerator in Southeast Asia in 2018. German Accelerator empowers German startups to scale globally. The program is funded by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy, and it's currently managed by German Entrepreneurship. Our programs are highly customized to the participants' individual needs to help them enter international markets and succeed quickly. We take high potential companies on a fast-paced expansion journey in the world's leading innovation hubs in the US and Asia. We have presence in Berlin, Munich, Silicon Valley, New York, Boston, and Singapore. German Accelerator's Market Access Program helps startups enter international markets within an intense mentoring phase of 3 to 5 months. We also have market discovery programs that help German startups to validate the suitability of their business to new potential target markets such as Korea, Japan, and India. Startups can benefit a great deal from our programs. We are industry agnostic, and our service is open to all German startups. We don't take any equity, and our programs are free of charge, except for our market discovery program, where we take a small participation fee. Since we launched in 2012, German Accelerator has nurtured over 500 startups, which have raised close to $5 billion in funding so far. And before we move on to the next segment of the session, I'd like to introduce some of our startups who will be presenting today. They've all taken part in our Asia Market Access Program and are either already present in the region or amidst their journey to enter the region. First, ANNEA is an energy startup with a software that predicts wind turbine failures up to 12 months in advance, leading to considerable cost savings and higher efficiency for wind park owners. They're currently establishing presence in 5 countries: Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, South Korea, Singapore, as well as India and Japan. They have successfully accomplished 1 pilot project and 4 underway in the region. In addition, they have established 2 partnerships and have 4 potential ones in discussions. HydroNeo is an AgriTech startup that's bringing the future to shrimp farming with IoT technology. With their smart farm management system that monitors and controls shrimp farms, they have established themselves as a market leader in the aquaculture smart farming in Thailand, which is a small but rapidly growing innovation sector with a focus in the multi-billion US shrimp farm market. HydroNeo were invited to go to Thailand by the National Innovation Agency and receive the Board of Investment promotion before establishing the local entity in Bangkok. They have also received funding from Thai Union, the global leader in seafood. Kraftwerk is an energy startup that produces an advanced compact fuel cell that runs on various hydrocarbon fuel cells and hydrogen. It is the only low-cost, lightweight, advanced, multi-fueled solid oxide fuel cell capable of repeated cycling and quick startups. They are working to build products with partners in the aerospace, mobility, and small and medium application sector. Orbit is a digital health startup. Their solution is Neptune, a device-agnostic AI solution that helps Parkinson's disease patients avoid treatment-induced side effects that destroy their quality of life. They are actively making their entry into the region with clinical studies underway in both Germany and Singapore. They're the top 4 finalists of Healthcare InnoMatch in 2021 out of 144 contestants from 33 countries. They are also taking part in Slingshot and are amongst the top 500 global startups. I'll stop here and allow the startup representatives to share a little bit more about their company and solutions. If you are a German startup interested in expanding to Asia, or if you're interested in becoming a mentor to help our portfolio of startups, please reach out to me via email, and I hope you enjoy the presentations from our German Accelerator startups. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dana, a co-founder of ANNEA, a German company that specializes in AI technologies applied to the renewable energy industry. Originally, I'm from Russia, and I'm glad to have this opportunity to present us in Singapore. We are a green tech company, and our vision is to save resources for a more sustainable planet. ANNEA contributes to green future by making renewable energy assets more efficient through predictive maintenance and underperformance detection. Using AI digital twin technology, we bring operations and maintenance one step ahead. So, a product that we offer is the ANNEA platform. It is an IoT solution that is adapted to multiple industries. It helps renewable energy companies reduce up to 50% operation and maintenance costs while increasing green energy production up to 15%. ANNEA combines industry expertise, engineering competence, and predictive maintenance modeling techniques. And with this approach, we provide the most precise predictions and forecasts in the market. So how our solution works? We collect all available data from the sensors that are already installed in the assets, so no additional hardware is needed. Then, using 3 modeling techniques, which is the uniqueness of ANNEA, we create a digital twin for each main component. The provided analysis gives detailed information about every asset, and it is shown in real time on our ANNEA platform. The results can be consumed via 4 modules. And here you can see the modules. Our clients can subscribe to all of them or to each one separately, depending on their current needs. So module 1, underperformance detection. It tells you why wind turbines and solar panels produce less than they could. Module 2, failure prediction, tells when, where, and how future failures will occur months in advance. Module 3, energy production forecast. It provides energy production evaluation in advance from historical asset data. And module 4, drone image recognition. It automatically detects icing, damages, dirt, cracks, and so on. The ANNEA platform has 3 dashboard levels. You can use this QR code to access a quick demo. So the first dashboard level is an overview of all wind and solar farms and the connected assets. The second dashboard level is an individual asset view. And the third dashboard level is the component view with the detailed information about future asset failures, assets underperformance, and maintenance interventions. With this information, we also provide recommendations for maintenance and repairs of the individual asset components. We have been successfully operating in Europe and outside of it for more than 2 years. Here you can see the results of our latest European project. We predicted all failures with the overall accuracy rate of more than 99%. The energy production could be increased by 8%. Financially speaking, we could have saved almost €500,000 and helped generate more than 1 million additional revenue in a 3-year period. Okay, and why do companies choose ANNEA? Well, there were 5 years of R&D and market research prior to starting ANNEA as a business. We have analyzed thousands of assets and gathered data for more than 20 years to develop our prediction models. And this is why we can predict failures months ahead, while our competitors talk about weeks. Moreover, with ANNEA, you're always aware of which component has a problem, the root cause of the problem, how it can be fixed, and when. Our conversion rate from pilot projects to software as a service subscription has been 100% so far. Okay, thank you. We want to share our expertise with the green energy producers in Southeast Asia and showcase how certain conditions can affect the failure behavior of the assets. For example, we have seen that high humidity, which is an issue in Asia, can affect wind turbines gearbox. Please contact us if you have connections to the renewable energy market, and we would be happy to have a chat.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Fabian. I'm the CEO and founder of HydroNeo. We're digitizing the Asian shrimp farming industry. Let me introduce you quickly to the industry. With production north of 4 million tons worldwide, the shrimp farming industry produces shrimps worth more than $30 billion per year. This makes farmed shrimp among the fastest growing food products in the world. The majority of the production is in Asia, where Southeast Asia alone stands for almost half of the global production. HydroNeo is located in the beautiful kingdom of Thailand, which is one of the pioneers of the industry with roughly 10% of global market share. Despite this massive growth, shrimp farmers still have a lot of challenges ahead because the shrimp farms are still run like decades ago and haven't been offered modern technology to solve the existing challenges in an increasingly complex business. On a production level, farmers have very high production costs, especially energy is the second biggest cost block, which is quite surprising for our standards. There's a lot of unrealized production potential as roughly 25% of shrimp do not survive until the harvest size. And that makes shrimp farming also very highly volatile for these mostly small-scale farmers. At the same time, on a farm management level, it's a highly global industry, but the farmer itself is very local with very limited access to the market and is not able to meet consumer demands like traceability, for example. That's why we from HydroNeo see enormous potential to use technology in this very analog and manual industry. We strive to become the trusted partner of the industry by providing great technology for the benefit of the farmer, the industry as a whole, and the environment. For this, we're building a one-stop shop for shrimp farmers, providing them with everything they need to become more productive and more profitable, from the procurement of the inputs over the operational farm management to the harvest sales, as well as additional offerings. As a first step, we created an IoT-based smart farm management system. This creates a strong relationship with the farmers and integrates deeply into the existing farm operations, and we're gaining a lot of data and insights. Our system consists of our proprietary technology, the controller, which you see here on the left, with sensors to monitor water quality, a highly scalable cloud-based infrastructure, as well as native iOS and Android apps. The customer benefit is risk management through remote monitoring. The farmer knows what is going on in his ponds. He receives alert notifications and everything. Cost savings through automation. We're saving a lot of energy costs through automation of motors and pumps, and an increase in productivity through higher transparency and better farm management with our controlling tools. This is all the foundation for the one-stop shop through data collection and building these strong relationships. Despite launching our IoT system on the Thai market during the pandemic, we can showcase a proven track record. With installations in all major shrimp farming provinces across Thailand, HydroNeo, we have established ourselves as the market leader in smart farming for aquaculture. We received a lot of media attention, very positive media attention, and also attracted the global market leader in seafood, the Thai Union Group, as our first investor. But the most important thing is that we have many happy customers, and we have been proven to save energy costs of up to 50% for them. Our team here, our leadership team, has all the necessary experiences to make HydroNeo successful. We have a lot of industry experience in our respective fields with 10 to 20 years each. And if you want to join us to bring the future to shrimp farming, please reach out. We are actively looking for customers, strategic partners, and investors. Thank you very much for your time and enjoy this amazing event.
Hello, everyone, and thank you to give me the chance to tell you more about how to save the planet and our economy through the next generation fuel cells. So therefore, today, I want to introduce you to the advanced solid oxide fuel cell from Kraftwerk. So why is that happening? Our future world is in global warming. So therefore, we really have to fight until 2040 to really come down with the global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. But how are we going to do that? We really think the resolution will be saving the planet and our economy through innovation. And we think the best innovation to do so is within energy. And so far, we implemented and created an advanced solid oxide fuel cell where we think will play a role in the clean tech revolution. How is it happening? So Kraftwerk so far was established as a B2B company, and we really already so far to be in the fields of unarmed air vehicles and aviation and transportation, but also in the small and mid-sized application. And our advanced solid oxide fuel cell is already mass produced in Germany and in our facilities. And what's the advantage of this fuel cell in comparison, for example, to a battery? It has an energy density with a factor of 50 more. It's way cheaper since we also got rid of platinum as a catalyst in the fuel cell itself. And we are fuel flexible. So that means that we can transform hydrogen into electricity, but also all carbon hydrants you may think of. But mainly, of course, we're focusing on e-fuels with an extreme high efficiency. So therefore, our company is so far even bootstrapped, and we are one of the only fuel cell companies in the world that are already profitable. So what's the core attributes and the USP of the cell? The cell is a high temperature cell, so therefore you can use the efficiency of the heat, even for example in an automotive system, to cool or heat the car itself in their system. It's extremely efficient. As I said, in a fuel cell, it's a chemical reaction with an extreme high efficiency. And our fuel cell allows quick startups of just a few seconds and almost unlimited cycling. It's extremely inexpensive. As I said, we get rid of platinum as we started with fundamental research already 20 years ago and designed an entirely new fuel cell. And it has a few flexibility. So you already can start with LPG, CNG, or other carbohydrates. They're already in the market, and you add on hydrogen to a point where green hydrogen is available everywhere. In the same system, you can then just change to green hydrogen, where we all want to go towards. And of course, we already have mass production implemented. So therefore, we already internet connectable with our cells within high voltage and power to really come down with every system size. It's a microtubule fuel cell, as you see, so it's an entirely new system. And we put that together in a so-called box, and the box then gets implemented in our customers. So what so far we implemented is also 20 years of research. We have several patents with different international patent groups. We're starting with the whole supply chain, so therefore we in possession of the whole value chain, starting at the raw materials to the whole variable system. And we implemented already, as I said, a mass production facility with a lot of robotic steps right now, invested more than 5.8 million euros so far. And we're already at a capacity of 750 kilowatts per week. What's the business model? We're operating in several different markets in the US and Europe and also already in Asia. And this is why we're now really going into the Asian market, since it's really attractive in terms of how to fight global warming and how to change the environmental behavior. So therefore, Southeast Asia and China is really viable for us right now. What are the different segments at the end? So we're really focusing on changing the transportation sector within the engines, small and mid-sized applications, the aviation sector, but also our cell can put in reverse mode. That means we can also have the ability to transfer power into several different gases. So this was really our cell itself, and I'm really happy to get in touch with you. If you want to get more information, just let me know, and I'm happy for discussions. Thank you so much.
Welcome to Orbit. My name is Patty. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Orbit Health. We have developed a digital health lab that enables the integration of multiple digital health solutions into the current clinical workflow, connecting hospitals and clinics to patients' home for effective chronic disease management. Chronic disease continues to be on the rise. It is making healthcare unsustainable. In fact, 1 in 2 adults today have chronic diseases, and 1 in 3 have multiple chronic diseases. One of the reasons we are not effectively addressing chronic diseases today is because physicians are largely relying on a snapshot of information to make treatment decisions. They often see their patients only once every 3 to 6 months, or only when they're sick. When a patient goes home, the doctor has very limited insights into the patient's symptoms or response to treatment. But with advancements in sensor and AI technology, we now have the ability to objectively and continuously monitor patients' well-being, symptoms, and treatment response. These digital biomarkers and solutions are providing physicians with unprecedented insights to effectively carry out early intervention and personalized care. This can delay disease onset and prevent adverse events from happening. However, it is difficult to tap into this tremendous opportunity as the current digital health landscape is fragmented and operating in silos. It is extremely challenging for physicians to navigate and adopt. Not to mention, with more patients having multiple chronic diseases, more than one digital health solution and device will be required for a single patient. In order to capitalize on the value these new tools can bring, a centralized service platform is needed to integrate them into the current clinical workflow, so physicians can adopt them in routine clinical practice to benefit patients and make real impact. Welcome to Digital Health Lab by Orbit. The platform connects institutions and physicians to the patient's home integrate digital health solutions into their routine clinical workflow, regardless of who is providing it. It enables physicians to access new solutions, prescribe one or more solutions that are suitable for each patient, on-demand access patient-centric insights, even with multiple solutions, and ultimately personalized treatment and care for each patient. This allows for early participation in the patient journey, encourages patients to take ownership of their health, and shifts the chronic disease paradigm from a reactive to a proactive approach. Orbit Lab creates tremendous impact on 3 levels. First, a new chronic disease management model will emerge to improve patient outcomes, quality of life, and ultimately save cost. Furthermore, institutions will have a new business model to support the validation of these new tools. This will further strengthen Singapore's position in the digital healthcare across the region. By joining the currently siloed digital health landscape, unprecedented data insights can be generated to power breakthrough clinical approach and innovation. For the first use case of the lab, we'll focus on Parkinson's disease and enable physicians to apply 3 solutions to a single patient to address common comorbidities. The lab offers the monitoring of motor fluctuations using a smartwatch and the monitoring of gait quality using shoe sensors to enable effective treatment personalization. It also offers the objective assessment of cognitive impairment using a VR headset to detect dementia and Alzheimer's early. With Orbit Lab, the separate insights will be pulled into a single patient-centric dashboard to support clinical decision-making. We're looking for test bedding opportunities and collaborations for clinical or implementation studies to demonstrate the lab's usability and its ability to provide better patient care. Following which, the lab can be expanded to offer more digital solutions for other disease areas. Our team comprises of industry, clinical, data science, and tech experts to support and grow with our customers. Our advisors are world-class industry, business, and clinical experts to ensure Orbit's success. Thank you very much. At Orbit, we are committed to delivering tomorrow's chronic care solutions today. Come visit our booth and contact me directly for more information.
Hello, I'm Christine from Accelerator. We're part of German Entrepreneurship Asia, as you've heard from my colleague Theresa before. In my part, I would like to walk you through the opposite direction. So how do we actually work with Singapore startups and SMEs when they are venturing into the German market? And why do startups actually look into the German market? So what I would like to cover is actually a brief introduction to Germany's startup and innovation ecosystem, what makes it special, what are also current industry trends and opportunities that make it more interesting for you to look into the market, and finally, how we actually work with startups and SMEs through the Accelerator program, which is part of the Global Innovation Alliance by Enterprise Singapore and EDP. So we start with why would you look into the German market and what makes it actually attractive? One obvious fact, and that's I guess where Germany and Singapore are pretty alike, is that we're one of the most innovative economies in the world. This can be measured, for example, in terms of the patent registrations, where Germany is leading within the EU. Germany is a very R&D heavy country. You see that in terms of the spending of the GDP on R&D. You have, of course, a mix of public and private R&D centers or research institutes. You see a few examples here, like Fraunhofer and their association is actually Europe's largest center or association for applied research. You have the big names like Bosch and Siemens and other corporates that are spending billions on innovation. And lastly, also top universities that are renowned also on a European level, such as Technical University in Munich, for example, educating the top tech talent of tomorrow, and also helping them kick off their startup journey through business and innovation centers. Unternehmertum, for example, of the Technical University of Munich is also a close partner of ours that we collaborate with when we bring Singapore startups to the German market. Another fact about Germany is probably also very well known, that Germany is an economic powerhouse. I don't want to bother you with the facts about GDP and whatnot, but rather look at how does the country try to maintain or strengthen our position as an economic powerhouse. We have traditional industries such as manufacturing, medical device industries, insurance, when you look in, for example, Munich Re. But how do we make sure that we keep up the pace with global innovation centers? One of the initiatives for this is actually the so-called Digital Hub initiative by the Federal Ministry of Economic Affairs. You can see here we have 12 different digital hubs. They bring together startups, SMEs, corporates, investors, government agencies, and research institutes in the respective sectors. One important point that this also conveys is that Germany is not one centralized startup and innovation ecosystem. Of course, there's Berlin as one startup hub, but there are many different hubs across the country that cover different industries. For example, Munich is covering mobility and insurance. You have around 100 insurance companies just around Munich, the capital city of Bavaria in southern Germany. You have Frankfurt focusing on financial services and innovation in financial services and cybersecurity. And of course, Hamburg as the top logistics hub. So we partner with most of these hubs actually to also access their corporate network, see what are the current trends, what are they looking for, what are the actual needs, and how can we match that with the Singapore startups and SMEs that we're working with. Some other points that we've gathered actually why is Germany an interesting startup ecosystem is of course what I mentioned before. We have heavyweights, all the corporates like BMW and Siemens that are based in Germany that also have many different of their own startup programs such as Accelerator programs, venture client programs, their own VC arms. It can be a bit overwhelming because there's too many offerings. So we're also here to actually help navigate through that whole maze of offerings of the corporates and who is actually the right person or what is the right entry points in such a corporate when you're looking as an international startups entering into Germany, looking at them as a potential client. Another important fact for Germany is actually that we're not only known for BMW and so on, but actually for the so-called hidden champions. Germany is home to over a third of the world's hidden champions. These are so-called Mittelstand companies, innovative companies, medium-sized, that are often family-owned and family-run. So a very different company structure from, let's say, the corporates. But they actually are active in niche markets. And in these niche markets, they are world leaders. So these are an interesting group of clients or go-to-market partners for you as well. Interesting to know is also that medium-sized companies in Germany are, compared to other European countries, much larger. So they actually have a decent size for you to work with. Finally, or one of the next points actually, what you look into as a startup looking into a new market is of course the funding scene. Here you see again that there's not just one top hub for startup funding in Germany, but there are some that are standing out, such as Berlin and Bavaria, which is with Munich as capital city. The key sectors that get most of the funding in Germany are actually mobility, obviously with all the automotive companies around, also fintech, B2B software, e-commerce, and healthcare. And you can see that this is a pretty good match between Germany and Singapore. A special VC section that we would like to cover also is, of course, the corporate VC, focusing on similar sectors. An interesting fact here is that actually Germany has the highest level of CVC co-investing. So a good way to work with you with Deutsche Bank, Bosch, Siemens, and the likes. Finally, when you look into a startup ecosystem, of course, the actual startups that are based there are important to look at. Some of the unicorns are listed here, also covering the same sectors that I shared before that are our key industries in Germany. You see here from fintech, mobility to B2B software, data analytics. And another fact that I would like to share is also that German entrepreneurship and our teams in Germany have actually worked with, by now, probably 400 of Germany's startups. And these are interesting partners for a peer-to-peer exchange or go-to-market strategies for the Singapore startups and SMEs that venture into Germany with us, because oftentimes it's more straightforward and faster to work with a startup than maybe with a corporate. So that's another option to look into. And to sum this up, basically, why would you look into Germany? Of course, Germany should not be the only market you cover in Germany, but it should just be a starting point for you to look into Europe, of course, to cover a bigger market. Next, I would just very briefly like to go into two of our key industries, being MedTech, digital health, and Industry 4.0, and some of the trends that emerged, especially through COVID, and that are kind of also favorable for your market entry in Germany. For the longest time, Germany has been the biggest healthcare market in Europe, and actually also on a global level, number 3, so all the way up. Interesting to know also that the whole population in Germany is covered by insurance, mostly actually by the public healthcare system, which is of course also important when you want to offer a medical app or product and get reimbursed actually through the public healthcare system. Healthcare, of course, has been one of the winners during and post-COVID, and there has been a large push for telemedicine and digital health solutions, which also materialized in some of the new regulations or legislations that I would like to share. We have the Digital Care Act, which actually allows doctors to prescribe low-risk patient-centric apps. And then we have the Hospital Future Act, which works on the digitization in hospitals, be it high-tech medical equipment, but also automating or digitizing certain processes within the hospital workflow. So there's a lot of opportunities that we're actually exploring currently with the healthcare startups in the Accelerator program to actually, take advantage of a faster way to market through favorable conditions. Another key industry is Industry 4.0. Needless to say, we're one of the world leaders in that field. What trends we see here actually through COVID, but not only, of course, through that, is that there's a huge need for remote, efficient, and automated processes. We also have a huge amount of data that we're gathering through different solutions, but what do we actually do with that data? How can we extract more value from that data and have that actionable insight? So we're a leading nation in Industry 4.0, but there's a lot more to do and a lot more opportunities for you to enter the market and help us succeed. Finally, what I would like to cover is very briefly how we work with startups from Singapore and SMEs, of course, to enter the German market. We realized that each startup is very unique. Even in the same industries, you have different needs, you have a different client or go-to-market partner that you would like to explore. And that's why we work with every startup and SME individually. How we do this is in 2 different tracks. And this depends on your readiness to expand to Germany. Accelerate Explore is a market validation track where we look into the industry insights, who are relevant stakeholders you should be aware of, how does your product fit into the market, or does it fit into the market, what kind of localization is needed in terms of language, in terms of workflows or other things that you have to adapt to, and who are your potential clients, how do you pitch to them, and what are their actual needs so that we can prepare a suitable offering. In a next step, Accelerate Access helps companies that are ready to take the next step into Germany. And we work with them for around 4 months to actually work on the concrete go-to-market strategy. This can be through pilot opportunities that we define tracks. Is it a healthcare startup that you want to pitch to hospitals and pharma companies? We would build an expert team around each track and help you prepare your offering with actual insights from your clients, what they are looking for, prepare your offering for success, and help you in the whole pilot scoping and execution process. And just very important is that we work with every startup individually. You see here a selection of most of our startups that we've worked with over the past 2 years in the Accelerate Explore and Access program across industries where we see good synergies between Singapore and Germany, and where there's a huge interest also from German corporates in these solutions. And we're very happy to actually have a few of our startups share their journey and their technologies with you in a bit, which is Biorithm, telemedicine, and uHoo. We've been working with them for over the last year, actually, and very happy that they have the opportunity to present today as well. With that, I'm very happy to speak to you if you have any questions on Germany or how we can work with you on successfully entering the market. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. I'm CM Tedjar. I'm Head of Business Development at Biorithm. So Biorithm is a MedTech startup spin-off from Nanyang Technological University. And at Biorithm, we are building the next generation of integrated maternity care solution that brings high quality, accessible, and personalized care to every mothers and babies. So pregnancy is not a disease. However, we are seeing an increased number of at-risk pregnancies. And this is because more and more millennial women have a pre-existing condition that put them at risk. So to prevent poor outcome, there is an intensive visit and monitoring regimen that is delivered to mothers. Today, the standard of care is highly fragmented with no visibility on the patient's status between appointments. Is highly disruptive for the mother and is a limited support to individual needs. Furthermore, the standard technology used to monitor babies in the third trimester, called a cardiotocograph, a CTG, did not really evolve since the last 50 years. It's bulky, limited to in-hospital use, is required expert operator, and most importantly, it has a very poor predictive value in assessing the risk of fetal distress. So despite these intensive regimens, maternity systems have a limited ability to prevent incidents of complication and poor maternity outcome. So the question is, how can we manage an increasing number of patients who need a frequent attention with this current standard of care? So at Biorithm, we believe that combining technology and integrated decentralized care could move the needle towards a better clinical and economic outcome. So I want to introduce you FEMOM, which is a comprehensive remote monitoring platform for pregnancies. And it works around the concept of a virtual visit, where a clinician prescribe and schedule a remote monitoring visit to their patient based on their individual needs. And using a patient mobile application and a set of sensors, patient is able to collect different data, such as the fetal heart rate, mother heart rate, uterine contraction, blood pressure or glucose, depending on the needs, and patient-reported symptoms. We then make those data available to clinicians through a clinician web application, where the results are automatically triaged and actionable insights are provided to the physician in a color-coded alarms. So at the center of this platform is our proprietary fetal monitor called FEMOM. We have addressed the standard ultrasound Doppler limitation by using abdominal ECG as a modality of monitoring. And this is offering a tremendous advantage, such as an easy-to-use device that the mother can operate herself, a better and higher resolution data that provide objective fetal biometrics and remove subjectivity of fetal CTG interpretation. So with the FEMOM, the maternity system has the potential to provide a data-driven care to improve maternity outcome and minimize complication while reducing the cost of care. And at the center of all this is the patient. FEMOM is truly empowering women with an easy-to-use tool to access convenient, engaging, and personalized care. So we are currently working with key opinion leaders across the world who strongly believe and support this digital transformation in maternity care. We are also actively working with the innovation ecosystem in Singapore. So we are always looking for like-minded people who are willing to join our journey. So if you are interested to learn more, please reach out through LinkedIn or come and visit our booth at the Tech Innovation Summit. Thank you very much.
Greetings to everyone. My name is Eugene, and it is a great honor to be here amongst you. It is indeed a privilege to represent and speak on behalf of Telemedicine. Telemedicine's vision is simple: to provide affordable eye screening services to people all around the world. Hence the quote, "Eye care for everyone." Globally, more than 1 billion people suffer from poor vision, with more than 90% in low income or remote settings that lack access to eye care. However, good machines are still costly, and there's a lack of eye care professionals. Since 2014, we have been developing our regulatory approved AI software for eye screening with deep and machine learning methods. It is currently available worldwide, including countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, and soon to be in Germany. A quick drag and drop of the fundus eye images onto our digital platform will return results that identify the presence and the severity of different diseases. Nonetheless, we also built hardware that captures the front and the back of the eye, embedded with our offline AI module. Today, 80% of diabetic patients will eventually develop diabetic retinopathy, which may lead to blindness. Early detection and treatment are of vital importance as they may prevent vision loss. There are existing solutions out there, but they do come with certain limitations. One being their AI models can only detect yes or no and not the severity of the diseases. Second, the ease of use and speed of processing. Our infrastructure is set up in a way that images are processed on the cloud within minutes. On top of that, we also offer digital platforms for clinical users and patients. In this pandemic we live in today, it is vital to building a virtual bridge between patients and healthcare professionals. Our telemedicine AI service has gone beyond the proof of concept stage to obtain regulatory certification and being fully commercialized. Before images get to the cloud, the quality will be assured by our deep learning model. We have also built risk prediction models that can detect early stages of diabetic retinopathy and sight-threatening DR. Currently, our AI diagnostic services can detect diseases including DR, glaucoma, and age-related macular degeneration. All of them come in two versions: the light version that returns a yes or no condition, and the full version that checks for the severity of the disease. In addition, the CD ratio model also returns a cut to this measurement. Furthermore, we are exploring and experimenting with more diseases like dry eye, foot check, and more. Introducing the Rabbit, a fully automated multifunctional device that captures images of both the front and the back of the eye. It's packed with really cool features such as embedded offline AI modules that work without an internet connection in remote locations. However, its uniqueness goes beyond the sleek design, lightweight, and portability. It is how it hops in the community. Find a rabbit in your neighborhood, hold its arms, position your eyes, and it automatically captures both eyes. It's so simple that you can do it without a healthcare worker. Next up, we have the TeleIMD web application, built for mainly general practitioners, ophthalmologists, and optometrists. TeleI is a patient management platform that comes with a statistical dashboard where users can analyze their patients, thus provide better advice or even predict patients' health with some of our risk prediction services. In addition to the AI diagnostic solutions, it is also has a scheduling and teleconferencing feature for further eye grading and teleconsultations. Our TeleIMD mobile app is launched in the App Store and Google Play Store for general users like you and I, the ones who care about their own health. Within the mobile app, users can scan QR codes at their nearest eye screening locations, get full access to their eye exams, report, and even manage their own data. It also provides nutritional and educational information for further checks and understanding of their own health. Telemedicine is constantly open to collaborating with professionals within the health and eye industry. Businesses that require any sort of eye images grading, fundus camera providers to work together to deploy cameras in multiple locations like optical shops and pharmacies. And last but not least, GP clinics and hospitals, one of the largest markets that we would like to work with. Finally, we look forward to partnering with innovators and startups participating in our mission to save eyes and improve lives. For more information, visit us at www.telemedicine.com or join us at our Tech Innovation virtual booth today. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dustin, and I'm one of the co-founders of uHoo. And at uHoo, we position ourselves as your first step to clean air. And the reason why we say that is because it's important for you to understand what's going on inside your environment in order for you to be able to address it. If you don't know what's going on, any action you take, you won't be able to address the issues that you face. And once you take action, you also need to know whether the action was effective or not. And that's the reason why we position ourselves as your first step to clean air. And the solution that we provide is we help you measure your environment so you know exactly how to improve it. We build our own hardware and software. As you can see on the screen, we have a hardware, we have the dashboards, and we provide you with real-time access to all of your information, to all of your data. We also provide you access to all your historical data so you can perform analysis, understand trends, what affects the environment, whether your activities have made the environment worse or whether you have improved it. We also provide you with different alerts so that you would be alerted or notified ahead of time in case issues might appear, or if issues are already there, you would be alerted as well and provided insights on what you can do to improve it. And you can also integrate our system with your HVAC system so that you can automate your entire building. And when we look at the hardware that we've developed, this is called the uHoo Aura. This is the best-in-class commercial environment monitor, measuring at least 13 parameters. And we would be able to provide you an upgrade as well to add additional modules into the product without really replacing the product. So this is expandable up to 15 parameters. And in light of the coronavirus pandemic, one of the things that we've developed is the uHoo Virus Index. This is the world's first, it's patented, and we are able to provide you a real-time risk assessment of the coronavirus surviving and being transmitted in any indoor space. And I would like to share with you one of the case studies that we have with the Port of Rotterdam, the issues that we identified there prior to even deploying our solution. And when we deployed our solution is that it is a certified green building, but there are too many complaints about people getting sick, about people feeling too cold or too warm, about the air feeling stuffy, people getting a sore throat, and all types of complaints. And there's an issue with not having any air quality data inside the building, so that the facilities management people are not able to optimize the HVAC or the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning of the building. So in order to address these issues, the company hired an HVAC consultant from an exterior company, and that consultant recommended them to spend $150,000 to retrofit the building with new systems. The question here is, since it's a certified green building and it's brand new, it's only been 5 years old since we approached them, why do they need to retrofit the building with new systems? So it's just a case of the facilities team not being able to manage the systems properly. But the biggest problem that they have is that all of the tenants inside the building wanted to terminate their rent contracts because they were getting sick. So this was the main problem of the building. They want to make sure that they still have tenants, because if they terminate, it's going to be an empty building. So they've deployed our solution. And after deploying our solution, they were able to identify numerous issues within the building wherein they didn't have enough fresh air, carbon dioxide levels were too high, it's beyond the safety threshold, dust particles were very high as well, chemicals were also very high. They found out that the filtration system of the building was never maintained for 3 years, which caused a lot of clogging in the system. So a lot of these issues were identified just by deploying our solution. And with the data that we provide and the insights, they were able to take proper action. And by taking the action that was necessary and required to fix the building, they were able to reduce complaints by 95%. They saved $150,000 because they didn't need to retrofit the building with new systems. With the data, they were able to properly manage the building instead. And the most important thing was that 100% of the tenants renewed their contracts. So they didn't have any tenant churn after this was fixed. So this whole process on achieving these benefits was achieved within just 4 months upon deploying our solution, because it's all about understanding what's happening in the environment and taking the appropriate action and the effective action. So after they've taken action, they know that some of these issues might reoccur. So it's important to always have the data so they can address these actions immediately and effectively. So that's the kind of value that we provide to our clients all over the world. We are present in 40 countries with approximately 400 clients globally. And what we're looking for would be for companies who would utilize uHoo as a valued service for your clients, or utilize our technology within your firm to enhance employee health and well-being. Thank you.